We'll follow wherever the story goes here on 5 Live, but we'll focus obviously on Bodo Glimt against Tottenham. I mean, Paul, if it is a Tottenham-Manchester United final, I mean, you've sold it brilliantly there in that last couple of minutes. I'm quite sure how we get everybody excited for that. Look, from a positive Tottenham point of view, both Ali and Paul, what they did away to Eintracht Frankfurt in the last round should serve as motivation and proof of what they can do.
It wasn't a pretty performance, was it? It was an ugly performance.
Yeah.
They dug in, they got a result, and the biggest surprise was they went away from home and kept a clean sheet. And they got that goal up and they defended a lead. And it's aside to Ange Postecoglou. Listen, Tottenham fans, they want this style of football, this attractive way of playing. But when they do, and they're getting beaten heavily every week, they say, right, well, we need a little bit of pragmatism put into the side. We need to be a little bit more defensive. And they haven't had that. And that performance at Eintracht Frankfurt, I haven't seen from a Tottenham side this season.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mark. It's a resilience we've rarely seen this season from Tottenham. They've lost 23 games in all competitions this season. That resilience will get tested tonight on this artificial pitch if they concede early in the game. They lead 3-1. I still think that late goal that Bodo Glimt got in the first leg could be absolutely crucial tonight. And you can hear the atmosphere just starting to build around us now. So as the names of each player are being read out, you've got a little double shot of firework, bang, bang, and a huge blast of flames coming up from the side of the pitch as well. Nicely done.
It also, I mean, the weather looks filthy on what I've got on my screen. They also appear to, they also appear to, the Bodo Glimt fans have pulled up a TiVo flag that has the Minions on, Ali.
Well, and that takes me and you, Mark, back to the Olympics last summer where you got me to commentate on about a minute and a half of Minions animation during the opening ceremony. So here we are again. You're right, the weather's got really inhospitable. It was lovely earlier on today. We were up in the hills. We were looking at the snow-capped mountains. Temperatures have dropped. It's cold. It's grey. It's wet. The town of Bodo is buzzing. So, you know, it's not intimidating. It's not like playing in Istanbul or anything like that.
On the screen I've got in front of me, and the last thing I mean here is to be disrespectful, but it has the feel of a sort of third round FA Cup tie. Actually, from what I'm seeing, you know, it's a tight tunnel. The weather's not great. You can feel, Paul, the excitement of the home fans coming through. It's a sort of going away to lower league opposition test for Tottenham, is what it feels like. But with a very skillful, very good team.
Exactly that. And the last time that Tottenham did that wasn't so long ago, was it, in the FA Cup this season, on an artificial surface away at Tamworth. And they needed extra time to beat Tamworth. But as you say here, it's just, do you know what, ever since we came to the country yesterday, everybody in Bodo has been so friendly. It's such a warm, welcoming place, and they're so pleased to have you here. And the big Premier League teams, the big teams from Europe coming to this stadium, you know, everybody's been so polite, pleasant, helpful. As the noise, as you hear in the background now, just drops. The fireworks have gone, the music's stopped, and it's fallen silent, and this is going to be the big entry of the teams now.
It is. So with Manchester United's game on Sports Extra, let's hand you, for the big entrance of the two teams, Bodo Glimt against Tottenham Hotspur, to Paul Robinson and Alistair Bruce-Paul.
Thank you, Mark. So often on 5 Live, our European football commentaries come from the likes of Milan, Madrid, Munich or Manchester. Tonight we are in northern Norway. We are north of the Arctic Circle. We are in the Bodo Peninsula between Vestfjorden and Saltfjorden on the banks of the Norwegian Sea. The two teams are out here in the cosy little Asp Meira Stadion. Capacity just over 8,000. Tottenham in change kit this evening, all in dark green, tracksuit tops on at the moment. They stand to the left of the halfway line. And Bodo Glimt, the Norwegian champions, 3-1 down in the tie, but with a formidable home record on this pitch and believing they can have an historic night. The first men's team from Norway ever to compete in a major European semi-final. They've got their eyes on the final, and this tonight is Tottenham's season. utterly wretched in the Premier League, out early in the domestic cup competitions. But let's not forget, the last time Tottenham won a trophy back in 2008, this man on my right was in goal for them, Paul Robinson. 17 long years since then. They start with the 3-1 lead. The opportunity is there. And the opportunity as well, Paul, tonight, for 3 English teams to make European finals. We're going to get updates on Chelsea, Djurgårdens. Now, surely Chelsea are going to get through. They lead 4-1 from the first leg. And if Tottenham win this, it's very likely they play Manchester United in Bilbao. A Manchester United team, they've done the double over in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, an all-English final would be fantastic, wouldn't it, for English football, both for Tottenham and Manchester United, who we spoke about before, who are both in desperate need of 1, immediate silverware, and 2, the success that winning that silverware brings with the Champions League and the riches of the Champions League. I mean, you can't really emphasise which one needs it more, but for Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou, they've got the bigger task coming here tonight, as we said before, about the pitch, the stand, everything, the weather. It's a difficult condition for Tottenham to come here tonight. They've got a big task on their hands. They need to keep tight defensively.
Light, cold rain is falling. That Minions flag is directly opposite us. The other thing that really catches the eye inside the stadium, we are surrounded by hundreds of Bodo Glimt fans, and so many of them, Paul, have these, well, I've described them as sort of trawler men's hats. So it's the big, wide brim, waterproof, sort of floppy yellow hat. You found another simile, haven't you?
Yeah, for any of you with younger children who you've read the books and seen the film, Curious George, Ted in his yellow outfit. If you haven't seen it...
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Unfortunately, due to rights...
won all 6 of their previous games at home in the Europa League this season. The prize at stake, of course, in the Europa League is by winning. As Manchester United get us underway, Onana goes long off his initial touch. Bilbao playing all in blue. They're changed straight to white socks. Manchester United, of course, in their traditional red shirts, white shorts, black socks. And as much as it was an incredible night, the last European night here at Old Trafford, where Manchester United beat Lyon in extra time, I'm sure the fans will hope for not something similar to that. They'll want a much calmer evening, as it should be. The first goal feels vital. If it goes to Manchester United, it's surely all she wrote for the tie. But if Bilbao get the first goal, then maybe some seeds of doubt would be sown. And Bilbao come forward on the left-hand side with Bachiche. Now here's Unai Gomez. Gomez, one of the players entrusted by Ernesto Valverde to deputise for Williams. Massive blow to not have those 2 at his disposal in a tie where you need goals. Garnacho tidies up, finds Casemiro, one of the goal scorers last week, and here's Bruno Fernandes, who got 2. He's now the joint top scorer in the Europa League this season with 7. Patrick Dorgu, January transfer window signing from Lecce, might be ending his first 6 months at Manchester United with a winner's medal. You never know. It's Bodo Glimt or Tottenham Hotspur awaiting in the final. Spurs leading 3-1 after the first leg in their contest. So they were well placed like Manchester United, perhaps not as much. A foul there on Lenny Yoro by Alvaro Giallo. And now Yoro settles on the ball early doors as Manchester United just look to manage the game. Giallo actually born in Madrid but was brought up in Bilbao, of course. Incredible legacy club of players solely from the Basque Country, or because he spent time there as a youngster. he fit the bill for them signing. There's a foul by Nunes on Højlund, close to the right touchline, so a free kick to Manchester United. They might well get men forward and knock a ball into the box. Bruno Fernandes is going to play it quick down the line to Garnacho, who will then set it back for Bruno Fernandes to deliver from a bit closer. Good curling delivery, it skims off the head of Lindelof and should be tidied up by Bachutier on the far side. Harry Maguire thought he'd earned a throw-in, but it's been given in Bilbao's favour. The history of these two in Europe goes right the way back to the 1950s. The Busby Babes played against Bilbao the first meeting of the two clubs in the European Cup quarter-finals in 1957. Of course, a year later, the Busby Babes, the majority of them would perish in the Munich air disaster. But what was interesting about that tie was that Bilbao led 5-2 in the first leg until late on. Manchester United getting a late goal to make it 5-3, and then Manchester United won the reverse leg 3-0 and went through. Of course, a slightly different scenario, but had Bilbao managed to nick a goal towards the back end of last week, maybe this tie would have looked a bit different. As it is, they need 3 goals just to force extra time. And a typically cagey opening, as you would expect, as Nunes passes it into midfield for Jauregui to turn, and he's got some space to drive forward. Not the best pass by him, and Dorgu is able to clear it away. They've made some good ground through the middle there, Bilbao. And now they come down the left-hand side with Unai Gomez, and the cross is blocked by Lindelof. Now, Jauregui again. Now Yere brings the ball forward. Nice touch from Jallo, gets him beyond, or it looked like it would initially beyond Yoro. Yoro gets back at him. Manchester United struggling to get hold of the ball, but good pressing by Bruno Fernandes forces Bilbao back. An expectant Old Trafford. They're hoping for no dramas this evening. Lost 4-3 against Brentford over the weekend, and Bilbao had a goalless draw against Real Sociedad. Bilbao, if they can't get through in the Europa League, they've got some work to do in La Liga to protect where they'll play in Europe next season. Villarreal just a point behind them now in 5th place. There's a free kick. Is won by Manchester United just inside the Bilbao half. Mazraoui on the right hand side plays it to Garnacho. Now back to Victor Lindelof. He uses Harry Maguire, who's playing at the centre of the back three for Manchester United this evening. Good pressing though by Alex, and the ball's going to keep in there, and he'll have to use Onana to get out of a tight spot with Lindelof, and Onana drills the ball into touch. Goals have been hard to come by for Bilbao in recent times. They've only won 1 of their last 10 away games, and they've only scored in 3 of their last 9 in all competitions, so goals have dried up, and that's not what you want when you need 3. Maguire wins a good header above Sanadi. Jallo looks lively on the far side, but the ball's not quite settled for him yet. Now Yoro into Casemiro, who got things rolling last week. Onana with a bit of a slice from the clearance. Shouldn't cause too great a problem. Jauregui has won it back up high up the field, and it requires a good tackle by Dorgu to shut down Goris Sabel. Looks like is Nunes creeping up from the back here, lining up a long throw. Bilbao on the far side. It's not the best, and De Galarreta tries to flick it on. Eventually it'll resettle for De Galarreta, and he clips a left foot ball in, looking for Unai. And it's not cleared by Mazraoui, and there's space in the box, and a shot. Oh, it's over the bar from Alex. That was a good chance for Berenguer. Unai Gomez just kept the chance alive, and Mazraoui wasn't too sure whether to head it out or control it, and Alex had lots of space in the box and opened his body up and curled over the bar, quite a way over the bar as well. But perhaps a little warning sign for Manchester United. You certainly sense that if Bilbao were to get an early goal, that anxiety may reign in Manchester United. It's been a funny old season for them, and it would only take something like that to maybe throw them off sorts to a point. Now Manchester United come at the other end as Mazraoui is tackled by Unai Gomez. Unai thought he'd won a throw-in, but it'll be a Manchester United throw-in just up from the corner flag that Mazraoui will take his time to take. Now come Bilbao. Manchester United plenty of men back, as you would expect probably for the majority of the game. Højlund will put Ahirethabala under a bit of pressure, but he clears, and Euro tidies it up for Manchester United. 10 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Athletic Bilbao 0. A chance for Alex Berenguer. The only thing to write home about so far. Manchester United have got through the first 10 minutes. They've got 80 more to get through. A bit of an awkward pass by Lindelof that I think was intended for Onana, who ends up letting it run for Euro. Euro decides to go long, perhaps wisely to Højlund, but it's well won from behind Højlund. And now Unai Gomez, bit of space between the lines, plays it back to Haregizar. Ball comes in from the right, it's well blocked by Dorgu. It was Bacice with the cross, and Dorgu's done a good job there because he kept it in, played it off Bacice. It's gone out for Manchester United throw-in. They're unbeaten in the Europa League this season, which is quite remarkable considering their form in the Premier League. 1-8, drawn 5. They'd be only the 7th side to reach the final without losing a game if they were able to make it. Chelsea, the only other English team to do that, and they did that back in 2018. That's a good tackle by Jallo, who looks lively. And then there's a foul on Alex Berenguer by Euro, and this will be an opportunity for Bilbao to get the ball into the box. It's 5-6 yards in from the right touchline, about 5 or 6 yards up from the edge of the box. Yeah, Berenguer just nipped there ahead of Euro, who was trying to block the pass, looking for Jallo. And the delivery comes from the right. It's a good one. Onana gets a good punch away on it. Unai Gomez tries to recycle the ball back to Berenguer, but it's found its way forward to Sanadi, who's been quiet so far. Plays it back to Haregizar. His cross is blocked. Manchester United now have a chance to clear it. Now Ugarte's released Garnacho, who springs off side trap. That's good goalkeeping from Arrizabalaga, who was 45 yards out of his goal, because Garnacho, he was in his own half, but he was behind all of the Bilbao defenders trying to latch onto that ball forward by Ugarte. You sense Manchester United might well get a few opportunities on the counter-attack. Now Højlund goes running down the left channel. Won't keep that in though. Dorgu frustrating Alex on that right hand side for Bilbao. When to throw it. Ball back with Onana. Berenguer. He's been at Bilbao since 2020 now. Was at Torino, previously played for Osasuna. There's a collision between Harry Maguire and Sanadi, I should say. And Sanadi's just come off a little worse, so there's going to be a little stoppage while he gets some treatment. Yeah, Maguire got the ball. Sanadi threw himself to ground, and there wasn't much in it. Referee in the end has given a free kick to Manchester United for the subsequent pull by Sanadi on Maguire. Bilbao finished above Manchester United in the group stage, although Manchester United were unbeaten with 5 wins and a draw. Bilbao managed 6 wins, a draw and a defeat to finish above them, only losing to Besiktas. Managed, of course, by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As a quick free kick forward, and Bruno Fernandes fed it through. Lovely for Garnacho. His touch just got away from him, and once again, Arrizabalaga was quick off his line to snuff out that chance. Goalkeeper doing a good job for Bilbao at the moment, just sweeping up behind. Here's Lindelof at the back for Manchester United. Finds Mazraoui. Good pressure from Bilbao. Casemiro with a flick round the corner to Bruno Fernandes, and he will be able to open things out to Dorgu. Good first touch from Dorgu. Takes him past Besiktas, and now Manchester United got a 3-on-2. Dorgu puts it out right to Højlund. Wants to get it back on his left foot, and it's poked away from him. He tees it for Bruno Fernandes. His shot is blocked, and now Unai Gomez can bring it forward for Bilbao. He finds Alex. He's got Jallo to his right. Bruno Fernandes gets back and halts Alex up well. That's a nice bit of play by the Bilbao number 7. Unai Gomez on the left hand side, waiting for a bit of support to come up. Here it comes now, and Besiktas kills the ball in left footed, but it's headed out by Casemiro. Dorgu's first touch really livened up that attack for Manchester United. Took him inside Corozabal, and perhaps could have made better of the chance, but it wasn't to be. Garnacho now towards Casemiro, but Unai Gomez, who's being lively. He looks like he's being fouled there by Casemiro. The ball's come through to Senadi though on the edge of the box, trying to get it onto his right foot. Sets it back for Jallo, who then tees it back for De La Galarreta. The cross comes in, it's blocked by Yoro. De Galarreta did well initially, but they just couldn't quite get the perfect pass in there, Bilbao. Here's Bachiche. Now, right. Alvarez made his competitive debut for Bilbao in the Europa League against Sassuolo back in 2016. Long serving player. Here's Alex though, but he's on the halfway line, and that's perhaps not where Bilbao will want him to be. Picking up the ball. Manchester United, every man behind the ball. Bachiche now being urged down the left-hand side. He'll have space to get across it. Senadi with a first touch. I'm not sure whether he was caught in two minds, whether to bring it in himself or find Unai Gomez. In the end, his touch did neither of those things. But Manchester United might be a little bit cautious that Bachiche got plenty of room to advance down the left-hand side and get across in there. Now Ugarte in the middle of his own half. Plays it across to Lindelof, who'll bring Manchester United forward. And United, of course, lost the 2021 Europa League final to Villarreal. When they did win it in 2017, beating Ajax in the final, they beat Celta Vigo, another Spanish side, in the semis. They won the away leg 1-0 that time, so in a far better position to repeat progress to final here. Sloppy pass by Ugarte is intercepted by Gorosabel. Here's Bachiche coming inside, wanting Senadi to make a run. In the end, it makes its way back to Yerai. Now Gorosabel. Oh, Alex let it run through his legs, but Harry Maguire is too old to fall for those tricks. 20 minutes gone. Manchester United 0, Athletic Bilbao 0. Manchester United still holding their 3-0 lead from the first leg. Diagonal ball searching for Unai Gomez. He's mishit. Mazraoui heads away, but Garnacho can only settle it down for Jauregui, but Casemiro wins it off him, and now Casemiro finds the ball to Dorgu on the left-hand side. Garnacho is striding up to get with him. Poor pass from Dorgu. Gorosabel intercepts. And now Jallo threads it through a gap to find Alex, and Bilbao stream forward. Manchester United got plenty back. Alex, though, cuts inside Casemiro. Shoots left-footed, but Onana watches it wide of his right-hand post. Ghosted past Casemiro there to Berenguer, but couldn't curl his left foot shot back enough after shaping it round Harry Maguire. They've had some moments in this opening quarter of the match. Athletic Bilbao, Berenguer at the centre of most of them, but ultimately only his 2 shots off target